press record so I don't forget to do that. Otherwise, we'll get halfway through
and it'll go wrong.
Yeah. Turn this fan off. The problem I've got, I'm sat on my bed in my bedroom because it's the only place I can get away from the nipper.
Bit of peace and quiet. Yeah, the nipper jumping all over you.
Yeah. What I want to do is because I think that our government doesn't really give enough attention to small businesses, and we're the ones that get hit the hardest during lockdown, especially after last lockdown, trying to recoup, and now back to square one again. But what I think it'd be good. This is the sort of thing I like listening to, the sort of content, how people make their money, the person behind it. So I'm going to try and do one as often as I can, every day if possible. But I mean, it's been a struggle to even start doing one. I've got no idea what I'm doing. I'm
not me.
Yeah,
I'm completely clueless, mate.
Yeah, just guessing at it all. But yeah, so I think it would be the sort of thing that people would be interested in listening to. About small businesses that don't get a lot of exposure. It'd be good promotion for small businesses like yourself. But yeah, basically, if you want to just say who you are and what your business is.
Okay, my name's Paul Reed. Myself and my wife, I've got Richmond Kiosk down at Vazon, and that's it. It's a little family business.
Yeah. So what's your where did you start from, Paul? I mean, from school, after school, your career?
I've always cooked for a living. I started an apprenticeship, then I packed that in at the Nautique restaurant, and I packed that in and went to the College of FE full time for 2 years. Apart from a couple of years, maybe 3 years break from the kitchens, labouring on the building sites, that's what I've always done. And I sort of got the kiosk with luck, really. A friend of mine was running it, and he wanted a week's holiday, so I covered for him.
Yeah.
And then I said, if you ever want to give it up, I'll have it.
Okay.
And he gave it up, and that's that. That's where we got to.
So amongst all that, you went labouring on building sites. How come you did that?
It was just many years ago. I didn't think, I was very young. Didn't think I was getting enough money. Catering doesn't pay very well at all contrary to what people might think. And I was just sick of all the hours and everything, the split shifts. I could earn more money for less work. Well, I mean, more physical work, but
yeah. When I started working myself, I worked as a KP in the OGH. It was horrendous. The work itself wasn't that bad, but it was just the hours, the really unsociable hours. You had to be there early mornings, then back again at dinner, then back again in the evening. So
you have no life.
No, that's it. I mean, I suppose it's a little bit different now. You're doing it for yourself.
Yeah, I don't mind it. We're not open evenings or anything.
No.
We were open 7 days a week, but we've packed that in. We have a day off a week now. We started that just after the last lockdown because it was just too exhausting. 7 days a week. Of course, you know yourself, with your own business, you do have more, what's the word I'm looking for? More motivation.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But it's still, there's only so much you can do, you know?
Yeah. So how did the opportunity to get Richmond Kiosk come along?
Richmond Kiosk is a privately run kiosk, privately owned. We have a landlord. It's not owned by the states. And just a friend of mine had it. And we got to chatting, and he needed a week off. It's simple as that, really.
He needed a week off.
Yeah, he hadn't taken it on for long. I don't think he realised, and no disrespect to him, I don't think he realised just how much work is involved.
Yeah.
You know? And he'd already booked the holiday, to be fair to him as well.
Yeah.
So, and he wasn't going to not take the holiday. So I decided, he asked me to cover for him, and I said I could. I took a week off from my full-time job, and then it just went from there. I realised I'd love this place. I wanted something like that for many, many years.
Yeah. So you just said to him, "Look, I'll stay here," basically.
Well, I said to him, if you ever want to give this place up, please give me first refusal.
Yeah.
And then at the end of that year, he said, I want to give it up. And then I took it on and I spoke to the landlord and everyone was happy. And that was that, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I will say, I find you do give yourself a lot more work because you've got quite an extensive menu. Like some of the stuff
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
doing, it's not just your standard sort of ham or cheese sandwich, or you're doing pulled
No,
pork and pulled beef. Did I see you doing?
you did.
Yeah, yeah. I really like your bean jar. I find that's
Thank you.
amazing value. You get a cup of bean jar, although it's got carrots in it, but you
Yeah,
get
yeah.
your you get your cup of bean jar, and you get a couple of slices of bread with Guernsey butter on as well. And that's something that I find a lot of caterers don't do over here. They don't use Guernsey butter. But
It's really good. The
yeah,
Guernsey butter. Tastes
and
lovely.
yeah, I mean, you've got a really strong customer base as well. I mean, you've got a job to
Definitely.
park here where sometimes when I'm come, I've got to park alongside the road to try and not in the road, but in the car park.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you have got a really good business base there, and
We're
I
very
mean,
lucky.
you are.
Uh,
I mean, what Saturday dinner time? When was the first you heard that we were going to be going into lockdown?
well, I'd had a sort of one of our kids that works for us, that is,
Yeah,
one of our youngsters, he said he'd got a message off one of his friends whose mum, this is a bit convoluted, but his friend's mum is a policewoman, and she told his friend that there was going to be a lockdown. Clearly, there was a heads up to certain states departments that I appreciate before the official announcement was made. And then the final thing, one of our customers came up and said the announcement had just gone out, sorry. And then we decided that he said, no, with effect from now, everything was closed basically.
yeah,
So we heard about it pretty much
as it happened.
instantly. Yeah,
Yeah.
as it happened, which was all right.
So I'm pretty sure the answer is quite straightforward, but how's it affected your business?
Well, nothing, not really as yet. Obviously, we'd be closed today. Monday's our day off.
Yeah.
Yesterday we weren't. Obviously it's going to affect us financially.
Yeah.
But hopefully not too bad. The only slight trouble we had is because we get a big order in on Saturday because one of our suppliers is not open on a Sunday.
Yeah.
We've got all that stuff flying around, but thankfully we've got enough freezer space, so very little go to waste, you know?
Yeah, that's why I was going to ask you about stock, because obviously I don't know how much you get prepared, like how much food you prepare in the morning ready for the day. Was there much wastage?
No, very little, because we gave a lot to the kids that work with us.
Yeah.
To take home. They were very, very happy. Cakes and cookies and stuff, because stuff that can be frozen, we froze. You know,
Yeah.
other stuff we took home. So.
Yeah. What about staffing? How's that affecting the staffing? I'm only assuming that you and your partner are the only full-time staff there.
We are. We've got all of our staff are part-time, but one of our staff is sort of part-time, full-time. Yeah, that's it really.
The good thing I see with your staff is they're all young. They all seem to be sort of either school age or uni age, but they're all keen. I mean, they're quite happy to be customer facing. I mean, and obviously it's not the most glamorous of positions.
Nope.
At a counter, sometimes with the wind and sand blowing in your face there.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're pretty good. How do you source your staff?
They all come to us, which is really good.
Through word of mouth?
Through word of mouth. They come and ask us. We get messages on Facebook asking for work. We're very lucky. The kids, when they start for us, they seem to stay with us for years.
Yeah.
That's what we've had. That's what we've had so far. They sort of start at the age of about 13, 14, and we've got kids, that's youngsters, I should say, that started with us now, and they're going through uni, and they still sort of come back to us for the holidays and stuff.
It's good. I mean, I can see that they're picking up skills there. Like I say, just dealing with customers. It's social interaction. It's good for whatever work they do in the future.
Definitely.
What's your working day like? A normal working day for you? What time do you start, finish? What does it involve?
With respect, and now at this time of year, the kiosk opens from 9:30 till 4 o'clock. We have that time all the way through the year, but I'll generally get to the kiosk at this time of year at about 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Set things up, cook
and
baguettes.
You cycle there, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
That must be horrendous when there's a Westerly.
It's all right. You get used to it, you know. You do get used to it. And if it's too awful, or if I'm feeling too tired, I get the bus. You know,
So do you cook everything on site there, or do you prepare anything?
No, everything is cooked on site. We because we've got an oven. What you can't see from the front of the kiosk, we've got a rather small section at the back where we've got the dishwasher, etc., and a cooker. So we prep all the stuff. But what we do is we'll get, for instance, we buy flour and sugar in large quantities. So we keep them at home, decant them into smaller containers, and then bring them to the kiosk as and when we need them. You know.
So what would you say are your the favourites there, the best sellers?
The bacon butties or the bacon rolls.
It's a staple, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And the bean jar is a really good seller, but the cakes and cookies, it all goes well, you know, and it changes with the seasons, and a lot more bean jar at the moment, you know.
I have to say your bean jar is good. It's one of the best ones, if not the best one. Right? I wouldn't be able to give you a rating because I haven't tasted every single one on the island.
Yeah, thank you.
It is really good, and not only is it really good, you've priced it really well. I mean, I don't want to sort of shoot myself in the foot and tell you.
No, we're not going to suddenly bump the price. Oh.
But yeah, I mean, I had one Saturday just before lockdown, actually, of yours, and there was a huge bit, and I'm presuming it was that one beef?
Yeah, we get pork. We use pork and beef. In the bean jar.
Did you use beef shin?
So, shin of beef and pork hock.
Guernsey shin?
Yeah.
I love
Definitely Guernsey shin. Get it from a local farmer. Yeah. Get it from a local farmer, and he supplies us with our minced beef for the burgers and stuff as well.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone hasn't tried bean jar with shin of beef in it, you've got to try it. It's the marrow that makes it, isn't it?
And it gives it a lovely dark flavour as well. A darker colour in that, you know?
Yeah, it is really good.
Yeah, good.
And like I say, the fact that you use Guernsey butter as well, that's a nice touch, because a lot of places won't use it, purely because it costs a little bit more. But so I've mentioned it to other places. I've said, well, if you add it as an extra, put it on the board as an extra, because that's the worst thing. You get a nice sandwich, but then someone spread margarine on it. I don't see the sense in it.
No, me, because generally our rule of thumb is we'll only serve what we like.
Yeah.
If we wouldn't eat it ourselves, we won't serve it, and it's as simple as that. You know?
You've got a good product and a good good location, excellent location.
Yeah, it's just a lot. There's an element. There's quite a big element of luck, but once you've got a business, in my opinion, a catering business, it's not rocket science. As long as you're not ripping people off, and trying to sell them rubbish, so they'll come to you.
How long would you be able to survive without having any other income at the moment? If there was, just for instance, if there was no financial help, how long would you be comfortable not earning anything?
Well, my wife still works. She's got a job.
Okay, she's a key worker.
Yeah, she works at the hospital. So we've still got that as an income, but we don't spend a great deal of money. You know, we've paid off the mortgage. The kids are our biggest expense, really, educating them. put them through
Yeah.
uni.
It's a bit of a rude question, really. I shouldn't have asked it like that. What I'm trying to get across is a lot of people, I think the majority of the island can actually continue to work because they can work from home. But there's people like ourselves that, well, for instance, my income's just gone to zero like that.
Yeah. So, well, apart from our the wife's income, that's exactly like in the click of a finger, it's gone to zero.
Yeah.
So obviously we still have the rent to pay. We've still got the standing orders for the electric to pay. Yeah, basically, and there's no avoiding those. We could probably comfortably, because we live within our means and we've saved money, we could. I really wouldn't want to be closed for more than a month.
No.
Because even when, yeah, go on, sorry.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I shouldn't butt in, but a lot of small businesses here are just making a living. They're not making a fortune; they're making a living.
Oh, no.
But the thing that I get with my business is I've had really good years and some really poor years.
Yeah.
But the thing you get is a good work-life balance where you've got that flexibility. You're your own boss. You can spend time with your family more. You're not at the beck and call of someone else. And you control your own destiny, sort of thing. But
definitely, I agree completely. Back to the thing, you get good years and bad years. Someone said to me once a piece of advice that has stuck in my mind forever. And she had a restaurant, or an partner did, and she said to me, "You'll get good years and bad years, and if you get a good year, don't go out and buy yourself a Maserati, right? Because you'll need that money." And it's good advice. Not that I'm likely to buy one anyway. But there's a bit of a misconception with catering that people that you earn tons of money. You just don't.
No.
The margins are quite small.
Yeah.
It's easier for us, but the overheads, for instance, say for a restaurant, are just astronomical.
Yeah.
Right down to the plates.
That's a killer for a lot of businesses in Guernsey is property costs and the lack of affordable premises. And it's like I've been in the media in the past about what they call Fred in the shed builders yards, but it's not just that. It's everything. Like you say, it's kitchens. In America, I thought a good idea over here would be they have commissaries, which is the government owns a block of kitchen units and they hire them out so people can go in there. Yeah, basically like renting builders yards out from our states. They build small, basic, well-equipped kitchens, but they hire it out to people. So you book a block at a time, you go in there, you do what you need to do. So you haven't got that liability of having to sign up to a lease for a very expensive kitchen, then hope for the best that you're actually going to make a profit out of it. But
yeah.
So what are you going to be using your downtime for? Any ideas for the business that you could be working on?
Yeah, what we're going to do is actually we always need to work on the premises. We're going to go down there. We need some more. We're going to replace some of the floor tiles, paint the inside of the place, strip it out and give it a real deep clean. That needs doing twice a year. Obviously, we keep the place clean as we're going on.
Yeah.
But it needs a couple of times a year a real deep clean. Walls, sanitizer, and all sorts of things. That's what we plan to do. In lockdown, we painted the outside. The first lockdown, we painted the outside of the building. This time, we'll do the inside of the building and make it spick and span.
Have you ever considered buying it from the landlord?
Yeah, if I was given the opportunity, but it works. I don't think the landlord's key. The last time, I don't want to I don't want to pester him, but if he ever changes his mind, he didn't want to a few years ago. I mentioned it a couple of times, and I asked if he ever considers selling it, give us first refusal.
Because the building itself is situated right next to a bunker. Has that bunker ever been opened?
Yeah, it was opened possibly a year ago.
Oh, right.
Some of the guys from Feston Guernsey got into it and had a look round and then buried it again, basically.
So who owns that bunker? Is that belonging to the States?
I don't know, because the land or the title to the land is owned by a person. So I don't know whether the person has responsibility for the bunker, whether they own it or they just have title. You know, it's like the kiosk itself. The land is owned by one person, or they have the title to it. And I keep repeating they have the title to it because it's like the old fief.
Yeah, the old fife or whatever it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you go in the bunker yourself?
No. I just turned up one morning and there was a digger there, and they were digging out the bunker, and I was, what's going on? You know, would have been nice to be known if they're demolishing stuff, but
yeah,
no, it was the guys from Festa and Guernsey. So.
Just wondering on the inside space, so it could be a restaurant, a link onto the kiosk.
Yeah. It's getting, I don't know. There's a lot of. It would probably cost an absolute fortune to do anything, to change the bunker for anything, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't think the person who owns the land, again, the title to the land, particularly keen on the idea. So
no.
And I just can't be bothered with it.
No. So what about yourself, Paul? Do you have any hobbies or interests outside of having to work for a living?
Yeah, I do martial art.
Yeah, you have told me that in the past. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where'd you do that?
Beaujeu.
What belt are you?
I'm a purple at the moment. Right, and then hopefully soon, when everything's back up and running, I'll be doing my brown belt. So.
You haven't had to break any limbs while you're working?
No. No, not yet, thankfully.
Non-payer, someone running off with their
Yeah, exactly.
Right, okay. Anything else you want to say for your customers, or?
No, just, keep well.
Yeah.
Stay safe and all that, you know.
Hopefully we'll see everyone again soon.
Exactly. I don't mean known as like empty sort of platitudes. You know, I mean that genuinely. It's always nice to see the people at the kiosk.
Yeah.
And hopefully it won't be too long before we see everyone again.
Well, just before we go, give the people that might not have been to your kiosk before an idea of the sort of foods you do, if you can remember your menu off the top of your head. Because like I say, it is pretty... Go on, sorry.
Yeah, we do lots of sandwiches. It's all right, we do sandwiches, soup, bean jar, lots and lots of cakes and cookies. Guernsey ice cream, that's our main ice cream seller. That's what we like to sell, I should say. We try and push Guernsey ice cream, as opposed to the Walls, etc. That's it. We try and keep the menu varied. Crab sandwiches, local crab.
Because you do very nice with your crab sandwiches as well, don't you?
We do. Yeah, we do.
And the pulled pork and the pulled beef, all these little things that other places don't do. That's what you should be talking about.
We'll come across things, or we'll come across ideas that we think might work, you know, and then we'll give them a go, or not, you know, or we tweak the menu a bit. That's the way it is. But I actually don't have the. I would reel off everything we got on the menu, but I don't have it to hand.
Yeah, I mean, if someone hasn't been to you before and they're out on a drive and they're looking for something to eat, I think they should definitely give you a whirl, because they'd be
Thank you very much.
What you can offer.
We do get lots of nice compliments. I mean, you can't please everyone all of the time.
No.
Obviously, we get some people who are a bit disgruntled about something, but, you know, they'll get over it, and so will I.
Do you know what my one moan with places, if I had to point something out that's a criticism, is those horrible baguettes. They're like chewing gum. They're heavy. Like if you've been to France and you've had a French baguette, they're so light.
I know. That what the difference is that there's a lot of bread products.
Yeah.
In it, in Britain, let's say.
Yeah.
What they've gone and done is they've just changed the shape of a piece of bread. Right?
Yeah.
Because like the baguettes you get, you know, ours are okay, you know, but you can get ones that are a lot worse. And basically all they've done is they've taken a loaf a normal white bread loaf, and rolled it and called it a baguette.
Yeah.
When it's not actually a baguette at all, right?
Yeah.
The French baguettes, the way they're made, is completely different.
Oh, they're like a sponge. The way
they're just air
structure
and crust,
inside.
They're delicious. Yeah.
I mean, that's what I find is the difference in France, between France and Britain, where people are using par-baked baguettes that are really heavy. In France, they seem to buy a baguette for the bread itself, not the filling. Whereas in Britain, people are buying a baguette because what it can be filled with, basically. But yeah, in France, they'll put a tiny bit of filling in. Sometimes you think, oh, I'm being ripped off. But when you taste the crunch on the outside, and it's so soft.
It's about the bread. It's a different.
Yeah, sorry, I'm interrupting again, but that's one thing that Guernsey misses is a decent bakery that can actually do that, a French bakery.
Yeah.
Maybe that's
there was that boulangerie at the Victor Hugo.
Yeah, they were
boulangerie,
good.
but he shot himself in the foot. I won't say any more than that. Well, I will. He ripped everyone off. A particularly odious man, to be fair. And not to get too controversial. Yeah, mate, but it's a fact.
Yeah. Is he in business anymore?
No, he's not on the island anymore. He was.
No, okay, so you can say what you want then.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I hope so. Anyway, I'll have someone knocking on the door in an hour's time.
But no, that's the one thing he was good at, though, is producing those nice breads. But back to your business.
Yeah.
I hope you and your family keep well over lockdown, and I hope we're all back trading again as soon as possible.
Yeah, mate. You and yours.
I'll come and visit you and have a cappuccino and a bean jar at some point.
And a chat. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Paul. Thanks for your time, mate.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm hoping people can understand this is the first time I've done this, and the technology and the sound quality might not be that great. The content, hopefully, is good.
Yeah.
They're not here to listen to me. They're here to listen to you, and I should shut up interrupting all the time.
That's all right.
Yeah, I'm hoping I have got some other people to talk to. I'm supposed to be talking to another guy later this morning.
Okay.
Who's got an interesting business. But that's what I'm trying to open people's eyes to the variety and the diversity of the businesses we got here, because
there's a lot of little businesses on the island.
There is.
Yeah, they're lots and lots of different things.
And this is what frustrates me with the States, is they don't recognize us as entrepreneurs. They don't try to help us. They will invite people to the island. They'll spend a lot of money trying to invite entrepreneurs to the island. But there are people here doing it now that if we were given a little bit more attention, a little bit more nurturing, that we could be doing more things as well.
Definitely.
But anyway, mate, I'll let you go. Thanks for your time, Paul.
All right, then, Ross. Pleasure. Right. Nice to talk to you.
See you later. Bye-bye.